This is the Pound for Pound Boxing Show in association with 30 South and IQ Boxing. I'm Jermaine. Joined alongside me today, we have Umar Khan and his trainer, Will Jones. Guys, thanks for coming on. How are you doing?
Yeah, very well, thank you.
Brilliant. Umar, I want to start with you. Obviously, massive. You're making your pro debut this week. Massive fight yourself. I want to ask you, how did you first get into boxing, and who is your boxing inspiration?
So I first got into boxing when I was about 14. I used to play football originally before that. And one day the football season was finished and I ended up going to the gym with my brother because he actually boxed before me. And ever since then, I just fell in love with it really, man. And yeah, that's it. I just stopped playing football and I started boxing. It was weird. I just fell in love with it from the first time I walked in the gym. And I just stuck at it.
Brilliant. So would you say your brother's your inspiration, or do you have a fighter you grew up watching?
No, I wouldn't really say I have an inspiration. My inspiration has always been just becoming successful and just getting W's. That's always been my inspiration. I enjoy winning.
Yeah. Brilliant. Well, I want to ask you. Obviously, I want to ask you the same question. How did you get into boxing? Obviously, what well-known coach. How did your journey start, and who's your boxing inspiration as well?
I got into boxing. I was kickboxing first, and then taking kicks gets harder and harder as you get older. So I've done a bit of boxing. Got in with the Legends Gym with Jamie Williams, Adam Hart, Joe Mullender, Liam Wells, Mitch Frierson, Taylor Jordan, William Hamilton. We was all trained together when we were younger. I went around on the unlicensed scene for a little while. Come away from it, got into coaching. I was coaching. There was two Legends gymmers at the time. I was coaching down one of them, and then decided to go my own route. Still good friends with Jamie, Adam Hart, and that. Worked together with them, and got my own gym, got my own stable, and yeah, we're building as we go.
Brilliant. So I want to ask you. Obviously, your amateur record is a fantastic one. 28 wins from 32 fights. National champion. What made you decide to turn pro finally?
To be honest, it was never really like one of my goals to like be like a top level amateur and go to the Olympics or anything like that. My goal, I've always grown up watching pro boxing, so that's always been my dream and my goal. So when I got the opportunity, there was no way that I could turn it down. And especially being around like Hamzah and seeing like what it's like and being around it, when I got an opportunity, there was no way I could turn it down.
Room service, yeah.
Probably check we passed the COVID test.
Okay, well, I'll wait. It's fine. You can carry on.
How you doing, man?
That'd be better for talking to Umar.
That's it.
Like He's taking a phone call mid-interview.
That's a first. That's a first for us.
He's probably made it now.
So, Will, I want to obviously we'll talk a bit about you. Obviously your stable. Let's talk a bit about your stable, your fighters. You've got some fantastic fighters. Just tell some of the viewers who are watching, obviously, about your fighters, who they are.
So I've got obviously Umar Khan's in my stable. I've got Hamzah Sheeraz, Ohara Davies, Franco Ignatius, Sonny Ali, Jimmy Croxon comes in and trains with us. He's with my old coach Jamie Williams. We have like Mitchell Frierson come in and train with us. Got a guy Ade Amos, Johnny Ward, soon to be signed, a very good talent. He comes in and trains with us with Roger Lee. They're at our stable as well. I've got a guy helping me, a very, very good trainer, Johnny Sparks, used to be with Alec Wilkie. He's come down to help me. He's a family friend. And yeah, the stable's growing. Listen, I'm very new to the game, but I'm learning every day. I study every single day. I'm getting help off some seriously great coaches and great promoters. Lee Eaton's one of my oldest friends. Adam Hart's one of my oldest friends. Jamie Williams, my old coach. And like the man Al Smith's been helping me. I've got a close relationship with Mark Tibbs. These guys like have all brought me on like bit by bit. And like I'm trying. You know what I mean? I'm learning every day. I'm still new to the game, but I feel like I'm doing all right.
Yeah. Obviously, you mentioned some experienced coaches there helped you along. Obviously, how good is it to have people like obviously Mark Tibbs around, who's had vast experiences with some fantastic fighters challenging for titles? How good is experience has been learning off these sort of guys?
Oh yeah. Listen, it's great. I met Mark from sparring some of his fighters, Charlie Duffield, sparring Johnny Fisher back in the day, and that Johnny was from my old stable, and we went with Mark. Actually, the first time I met Mark, I went up and sparred Dillian White with a few of my teammates, and then we built a relationship from there. And Mark's a great guy, and he's doing his camp with Billy Joe in a minute. And listen, people like that you can only learn from, really, can't you?
Of course. I mean, Mark's a experienced coach, a well-known coach in UK, a well-respected coach, and for you, obviously, he's new to the game. It's always going to be great to get experience from such a coach.
Yeah, it's great. And listen, like there's two guys like I think the most underrated coaches in the country. Al Smith, obviously, is one hell of a coach. I've been doing a lot of work with him recently, and then my old coach Jamie Williams, probably one of the best coaches out there, and he loves bringing someone from nothing to something. He loves making talent rather than having talent come to him and then work with that. He's a great coach, very underrated.
Brilliant. Just obviously special shout out to these guys that continue to keep doing your work, and it's very good future for you and your stable. What I want to ask you, obviously, welcome back, Umar, again on the phone call. Obviously, we were talking a bit about obviously you always wanted to turn pro. You mentioned Hamzah. How big an influence has Hamzah been for you? Obviously, fantastic pro career so far. How big an inspiration is he for you?
He's definitely played a huge role in that sort of department, because where I've seen him come out with the way I've been with him since his debut. So all of this is nothing new to me. It's nothing new to me. I've seen what it's like already. Like I've been around fight week and the fight week rituals, what goes on. So it's not really anything new. So it's definitely been a huge advantage that I have, and I'm quite fortunate and grateful for it, really.
Yeah. So obviously, I want to ask you of you guys, how's camp been for this fight? How's camp been?
It's been good, man. It's been good. We've been in camp for about 10 weeks now, because we wasn't sure. Originally, I thought I was going to be fighting on the February show on the 27th. So yeah, we've had a good camp. It's been good. The weight's been good. Just trying to get over and done with now.
It's been a long time coming, this fight. Yeah. For Umar, it's been a long time coming. And listen, he's the most, from when I first met him to now, he's matured so much in the boxing sense, and as a young man. He's a class guy to be around, class guy to train. And listen, you're going to see a good, mature performance this weekend. I really do believe that. I really believe a lot of people will be talking about him after. I know it's only the first fight, but they'll be like, keep an eye out for him.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I've seen some of his pro amateur fights. Got friends who followed them all the way till now to his pro debut, and I've heard nothing but good things about you. So I'm really looking forward to you making your debut on such a platform as well.
Yeah, no, 100%. Thank you.
What I want to ask you, obviously, we talk a bit about your opponent. Is it Levi Dunn? You'll be making your debut against. Obviously, he just come off a defeat against Mason Ruick on the MTK Global show. Do you know much about this opponent? Have you seen much of him?
Yeah, I've watched a few of his fights. He's an awkward little boxer, and yeah, he's definitely coming to win. No one, especially with this lockdown, no one's coming to lose. They're all coming to win. You know what I mean? And especially when he had his debut, he got beat. So I'm pretty sure he doesn't want me to win.
Yeah. Obviously, I want to ask you, obviously, how good is Umar looking going into this fight, and how excited are you for him making his debut, and confident that he's going to go out there and put in a good performance?
Yeah, like I said, this fight's been a long time coming, and listen, he's bang on point. We've tapered down just when we've needed to. Weights on point. Everything else, like I couldn't be happier at the minute. Do you know what I'm saying? And I just think, I'm very confident in what he'll do. I'm confident that he'll listen to the game plan and go for everything we've worked on. And yeah, this is just going to be. After this fight, it's going to be a big weight off. Actually, I've been waiting a long time for this fight.
Brilliant. I want to ask you, obviously, you're signed to Frank Warren, such an iconic Hall of Famer promoter. What did it feel like when you first got news that Frank wanted to sign you?
Honestly, it was all like very surreal because it's always like as a young kid, like I've always been into sports, so it's always been my goal to be like a professional athlete. It's most kids' goal to become a professional athlete. So definitely, when I got the opportunity, it was very overwhelming. But I'm just grateful for it, and just got to make the most of it, really.
Brilliant. Obviously, we'll talk a bit about domestic and world level. Obviously, some great fighters in your weight class on the domestic scene, the likes of Brad Foster, Ufai, Chris Book, Hopi Price, Shabazz Masood. How good does it feel to be in this generation of British boxers?
100%. Right now, at domestic level, my weight there's definitely it's definitely quite exciting. But obviously, I've got to get through my learning fights before we start talking about any of these guys first. It would be wrong to start comparing myself to anyone at the minute. I mean, I've got to show what I'm about first.
Okay. Well, I want to ask you, obviously, guys, we talk a bit about, obviously, there's some great fights coming up this weekend, obviously, on the Matchroom card, on the BT cards. I want to get some of your predictions for some of these fights. Obviously, first of all, we're going to talk about the Matchroom cards, the main event, Povetkin White 2. How do you see this fight going?
Oh man, well listen, Dylan can't lose, man. I think he's got it in the bag.
Yeah, I think that I really hope Dylan does do it. He's because it's kind of like last chance saloon for him for the title contention, really. So I really hope he does it.
There's too much for him to lose this time, I think.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like I said, it's a career-defining fight for him now. He has to obviously come off of defeat last time out. I'm sure he's ready, and I'm sure it's going to be a good fight.
Yeah, the best thing about this fight. Remember when they was gonna make the rematch quite immediate, weren't they? They were gonna make it. I think the best thing that's happened is it's been put back. Now I don't think they're going to leave any stone unturned, and I think you'll see a good performance from one.
100%. Let's still obviously talk about the undercard as well. We've got Chris Congo versus Michael McKinson, which is a very, very good fight.
Great fight.
Yeah, that's a fight for me. Could probably be maybe the fight of the night. I've obviously spoken to Chris Congo recently and Michael McKinson a couple of days ago, and for me, this fight could be potentially the fight of the night. How do you see this fight going, and how excited are you for this fight?
I think Congo beats him over 12 rounds. I think.
Agreed.
I don't see a stoppage. Definitely his boxing IQ and his experience. I think that's what we're getting through. Yeah, it's not a pushover.
We had Congo in to spar Hamzah last camp, and yeah, Congo's a very good boxer. And it's strange because before Ohara's golden contract final, we was due to spar McKinson, but it fell through. But yeah, I think Congo nicks it.
Brilliant. We're gonna move on to obviously the BT show as well. Obviously on Friday night, which is going to be obviously, I think the main event now is going to be Danny Ball versus Sam Gilly, if I'm correct. I'm not quite sure. Obviously, they're fighting for WBC international title. How do you see this fight going? Do you know much about these two?
Danny Ball's no mug. Sam Gilly, I do think Sam Gilly does it, but Danny Ball is no mug. Danny Ball is a very good fighter. I think it'd be a very good fight to watch. This very, very good fight, and just see whoever gets through is bloody good British level.
100%. It's another fight, like I said, I'm looking forward to. I sat down with both of them and done an interview, and I'm really looking forward to this fight. I think, like I said, obviously now it's been elevated to the main event. I think we're going to see even more of a great fight that night.
Yeah, I think they'll put a show on. I definitely think that.
100%. What I want to speak to you guys as well is obviously I want to talk to you about obviously some of your fighters. Obviously, there's been talk recently a little bit of back and forth between Florian Marku and Ohara Davies on social media. They seem both
back and forth chat until they're old men, because they are murder. They bite so much, both of them.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, if it was to happen, maybe one day that will do numbers in terms of the fan base. Obviously, Ohara has a lot of backing as well, and Florian has a massive backing from the Albanian community. Could you see that being definitely being a main event? Maybe someone like a O2 if it was to happen.
If it was to happen, it could be a main event or a co-main event, definitely. Florian's got a massive fan base. I've got a few Albanian friends, and he has got a huge fan base. O'Hara's, I'm biased as his coach, but I feel like O'Hara's really getting some fans now with his new turn of personality. If I say, do you know what I mean? Like he's coming across how I know Umar knows him in camp and in the gym. He's coming across the nice guy that we all know, and listen. Watch when O'Hara fights next. He'll be a different fighter.
Even when he first started working with Will, I was shocked with the way he's such a nice guy. He's nothing the way the media make him out to be. He's actually like a genuine down to earth guy. He's a kind-hearted guy.
Yeah, I've met Ohara a few times. I've interviewed him as well. Really, really nice guy, and I just think he probably hasn't, in a way, he hasn't done himself justice in the past of some of the stuff he's come out with and some of the stuff he's done. But obviously off the cameras, really, really nice guy, very, very humble. Always got time to talk to you, and I just think like I said, he probably hasn't done himself justice in the past, but he definitely is a nice guy, and I believe he's going to get better as well with each fight. He seems to have that spark back again. Do you agree with that?
Yeah. I think it's. I've said this in a few interviews. I think it's purely down to Ohara being happy. It's been a bit where he's gone from coach to coach, and he felt like people weren't supporting him because of mistakes in the past. Thing with Ohara, you do an interview, have the perfect interview, say one thing, and that one thing will be turned into the title of the interview. It's clickbait. Do you know what I mean? And fair play to the people that are doing it, but and he done himself no favours really. But now he's really turned around, and he's generally a happy guy. Unless the gym's cold, he's a happy guy. If the gym's cold, he sulks for ages, but other than that, he's a really, really happy guy, and it makes a difference to his training. It really does.
Yeah. So, any news when he might be out next? Do you know?
Looking June, July, perhaps.
Brilliant. And maybe any news on Hamzah when he might be out next as well?
Same sort of time.
Brilliant. I look forward to that. Obviously, fan of both very, very talented fighters, and yeah, I'm looking forward to them being out. I think they're both going to go far. I think there's still a chance of me both of them being world champions definitely in the future.
100%, definitely for both of them. I don't think people have yet seen the best of Ohara, and if our plans go into action, I definitely think he'll be a world champion. And Hamzah, without a doubt, will be a world champion. Hamzah's one of those guys you train. Like a lot of my stable, Umar's the same. It's like playing a Tekken, Street Fighter. I've said this in an interview the other day. You tell him to do something, and he goes and does it. Straight, and he's listening. Same with Umar. He comes out the corner, come to the corner. I go, listen, try this. Goes out and does it, and you're just like, oh wow. And it's a massive compliment to the coach as well when someone does do that.
How easy is it for you, obviously, when he does stuff like that, when he seems to soak up things like a sponge, and then how easy does that make your job?
It just makes it easy, because then you can come up, you can be either creative or be double sensible. You can really manipulate someone's game when they can soak up stuff like that. And at the moment, fingers crossed it stays that way. All the boys are doing that at the minute. The stable's really good at the moment. Everyone's bouncing off each other. nicking little things off each other. When we're all in the gym together, the buzz, like, you have to come down one day, like, the buzz is unreal.
So obviously, we're going to talk about your gym. Is it? Sorry, my bad. Is Edge Performance Institute? Is that correct?
That's the one. That's my gym.
In Romford.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So I want to ask you, obviously, when was your gym first established?
Well, I come into the gym 3 years ago. The original owners were Rosie Sullivan and Lewis March. They had it as a strength conditioning gym, circuit gym. I come in, brought a bit of boxing with me, took over the upstairs, still partners with them, and there's another partner, Danny Stevens, just joined us. And I've been there 2 years, just over 2 years now. And listen, in the short time I've had it, we've turned it in a quite established gym. We've got everything you need for strength conditioning, circuits, all sort of gym work up for the bodybuilders, everyone, CrossFit, everything. And upstairs, the boxing facility ain't bad. Like, if I don't mind saying myself, it ain't bad little boxing facility. You know what I mean?
Brilliant. I want to ask you a few questions before I let you guys go. Let's talk a bit about a fight what possibly could happen. It's getting closer now. Obviously, they had an agreement, and that's the heavyweight undisputed title fight between Tyson Fury and Andy Joshua. How excited are you for this fight? And who do you see winning this fight if you was to pick a winner?
That's a huge fight, man. And I favour Fury, man. I think his boxing IQ and the skills and the slickness, I think that's what will get him through. But then again, in saying that there's an argument for both sides, to be honest with you, but I favour Fury.
Will?
I think Fury, but don't write Joshua off because Joshua's in good hands. He's with my friend Angel Fernandez, and I think Joshua is a completely different fight to Wilder was for Fury. If you take away Wilder's right hand, he's good, but he's not. I don't think he's a world champion without that right hand. I really don't.
Yeah.
Where Joshua's got power in both, and Joshua can box. So it'd be an interesting fight, but I do think Fury does it.
Yeah, I mean, we've interviewed about 12 to 13 fighters, and majority of them have all chosen Fury. Yeah, so you're not the first.
He's the heavy favourite, yeah.
Yeah. I want to ask you guys, obviously, I want to ask you for both of you, what's the short-term and long-term goals for both of you?
Well, at the minute, my goals is just to get my learning fights out the way, gain as much experience as I can, and just find myself around the program, not make a statement, but just kind of make a name for myself and just show everyone what I can do.
Well, yourself as a coach?
Short-term goals. My short-term goal is Saturday, get Umar through that fight safely and with a win. Long-term, listen, it's never for me. My goals are for the boys. Like, I want all the boys to do well. I want to push them as far as they can, regardless. There's no personal goals for me. I look at the boys as like my family, and as much as I take charge in the gym, I love them all like brothers, and I want to push them on. I want them all to do the best they can. So my goal really is for them to do well.
Yeah. And Umar, last question before I let you go is obviously fans can't be there in attendance for your fight, your debut. But I want to ask you, what have you got to say to your fans who can't be there, and what message have you got for your opponent going into this fight?
Listen, if it's on TV, I know there's going to be a lot of people tuning in, and it's just be ready for a good performance, man. I'm not going to say anything too, but just get ready for a good performance and just show everyone what I'm about now, man. It's time.
Brilliant. I'm looking forward to your debut. I'll be tuning in and watching that on fight night, and I'm looking forward to seeing you put on a good performance. And I wish you all the best going into this fight, and I'm sure we'll catch up with both of you guys very soon.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your time. Take care, guys, and I'll speak to you soon.
Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.